Hey everyone, welcome to Zeitgeist Zealots. I'm Forrest.
I'm Major.
And I'm Robbie.
Matt.
Today we're going to talk about episode 3 and 4 of What If. So the third one was what if all the Avengers got killed, except Captain America for some reason. So I thought this was a definite improvement from the first two episodes, which were basically just, let's replace character A with character B. So I thought this was a little more inventive. But
You
yeah,
thought it was better than episode 2?
Oh, hell yeah. Infinitely better.
You didn't like T'Challa saving the universe?
No, I didn't really care for
I like the
space.
second one.
I didn't really care for Space
Yeah,
Jesus.
I thought it was a fun romp.
Space Jesus.
And we're not talking about what's his name? Adam. He comes in
The Star-Lord that saves
Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Yeah. The guy who talked Thanos out of his plan. I was like,
Yeah,
okay.
basically. They didn't really say exactly how he talked him down.
Because they knew it was a stupid plot point. They're just like, well, we can't really explain this. We'll just
I
say
thought
it. We'll just
I
just
thought
tell
it was a
them, sure.
nice hint at the outrage that Thanos could have just doubled all the resources instead of having the population. That's what
Maybe
I
that's
took
what he
away
did.
from that.
But why didn't he just keep looking for the stones and then do that? Why did he just stop looking for the Infinity Gauntlet and basically let, in his eyes, the universe suffer from overpopulation? If Star-Lord was like, or T'Challa was just like, hey, instead of killing half the population, why don't you create double the resources? Like, oh, okay, I'll just collect the stones and do that. But he's like, I'm just gonna stop collecting the stones and just forget the whole thing. So, But anyway, we're not gonna talk about that episode.
No. Yeah.
Or
What
this
if we
episode-
talked about? What if we stayed on topic?
Yeah. So episode 3.
We're doing a lot of that today.
I think Tony Stark died first.
Seemed
and
to
then
So
be
what is
really-
episode 3 called?
seemed to be
What
really
if size?
what if?
Actually
The world
didn't
lost
matter.
its mightiest heroes.
Yeah.
There's still the X-Men.
They're
Just
I don't
saying.
think-
Screw you, Marvel.
Yeah.
Not in this
Um,
universe.
So basically, Tony died and Thor died, then Hawkeye, then Hulk. And I guess Black Widow died. She had a very ambiguous death. She just got pulled into the darkness. So she might have had the worst death, or I guess technically
Yeah,
the
who
least
knows
or
what
the
humiliating.
best
her.
Yeah, I think.
Well, let me ask you a question first. What when you guys click play and the Marvel intro starts, do you guys skip the intro or do you listen to
yeah,
it?
Yes.
I
Yes.
skip
I
it.
usually
skip.
do.
I skip.
You skip. I like listen to it. It gets me in
I
the mood.
watched
I
it
think
the
it's a lot
first
like the
time.
Star Wars crawl.
It is kind of
Even if you've seen Empire 1,000 times, you're still probably not going to skip the intro crawl.
Well, that's part of the story, though. Because it's
Yeah,
like,
but you've seen Empire 1,000 times. You already know the story.
yeah, but,
But
I'm not
it gets you in the mood for Star Wars.
The Marvel
gets you
intro,
in the mood
it's-
for.
It's kind of like watching,
True.
the 20th Century Fox logo. That has nothing to do with the story, but the opening crawl does.
Yeah. Well, I was just curious on your opinions, what you guys did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Skip.
Skip. But anyway, so they all died except Nick Fury and Coulson. They get Loki or I guess the big reveal at the end is Yellow Jacket is Hank Pym, and he's been killing the Avengers because his daughter died or something like that. So, but it was cool. They got Michael Douglas to voice him, and they got Sam Jackson and everyone except Scarlett Johansson because she hates Disney now.
Yeah, so the main thing I had issues with, though, was what about Thor? How did Thor was coming? He was landing right there. Anything?
Oh, I think he was coming to kill Hawkeye.
'Cause
and
wasn't
just
he-
killed Thor in the process?
Well,
I mean,
think
yeah,
he-
it's a stretch.
Well, I think he had access to Shield intel, so when they knew, he knew, and he basically could go anywhere undetected. So I think he knew that Fury was assembling this team of heroes, and Thor was on their short list. So he was basically just
Well, he
picking them
said
off one
he
by
would
one.
recruit him in a heartbeat.
Yeah, so
Tell
I
him
think
to be
just
some kind of hero.
he could have been on Fury's shoulder when he said that. So I think he just had the intel that Shield had. So, and he used to work for Shield in the MCU, so he definitely had the resources to.
We've all
Infiltrate.
seen Endgame.
Yep. Well, he was also in Shield in the first Ant-Man too. So remember, he was de-aged and working
Look,
with.
you guys can try to make me care about Ant-Man as much as you want to. It's not going to happen.
Well, yeah, I think, but I think in this sense, they made him more interesting. Although only so much you can do with Ant-Man. But yeah, what were y'all's thoughts?
Bold
In my
choice picking
opinion,
Hank Pym.
I'm a big fan of Nick Fury.
Would you watch a
Especially
Nick
just-
Fury and Black Widow buddy cop TV show? I would watch that. Kind of like an MIB, but with like Shield.
Yeah, I guess
Basically,
watch it until see if it kind of dies down or not.
it's basically what Captain Marvel was. A buddy cop between him and her.
Yeah.
Also, she didn't come back to voice Carol for that one line. They're probably like, "You gotta pay my $1 billion fee." And they're like, "Nope, we'll just hire an actress to say those 2 words or 3 words."
I
Like,
would have
where's the
just
fight?
tricked her. I would have just called her and like record her voice. I'd be like, "Hey," and then like just randomly say the line, and then she would just say it back, and I'm like,
No,
"Thanks." Click.
Just
and
be like,
then
"Hey, we're
fold
going
it in.
to the MMA fight, the Floyd Mayweather,
Mayweather Floyd.
Logan Paul fight." And she's like, "Where's the fight?" And then boom, got you.
Boom,
bitch.
got it. Yeah,
So put into the
putting
thing.
on my
I should probably-
voicemail.
She would have sued though. I'm sure she's like very pro Scarlet, so she's probably not happy. And I think the Russos I read too are also unhappy with Disney because of the Scarlett Johansson situation. They don't want to direct another Marvel movie because they're not sure how they're going to be compensated. But I'm just like, haven't you made enough money, dudes? But anyway, so back on this episode, Loki showed up. Tom Hiddleston, of course, came back to voice him, and he's sort of I don't know. I was kind of disappointed. I thought Nick Fury was actually in that good a shape, doing the backflips and stuff. At first.
Yeah,
I thought it was Nick Fury at first, and then he started just making a whole bunch of clones.
Well, yeah, that was
The-
the.
Or
I
was
think,
it
like,
Loki the whole time?
It
from
was Loki the whole
beginning?
time.
it was Loki
like-
the whole time.
Yeah, but
Oh,
I think
okay.
It's like
even
you're
in the back-
spry for your age.
Yeah, that was the first clue. I was like, wait a minute.
Oh yeah,
He's like in his probably his 60s because it's Samuel Jackson. So
yeah, and he's all of a sudden
Yo,
just
Most
so
of the episode was the who done it. So who'd you guys think done it in the beginning before the reveal? Did you guys have any clue?
not
Yeah,
really.
he
I didn't
was,
really.
like,
I didn't know
behind
any
it.
suspects. It was kind of just unfolding.
Yeah, I was not really
I think-
sure.
I think maybe I was.
What'd you think about the reveal?
the review?
I was a little surprised.
Like, no, the reveal.
yeah,
Like that it was old Hank Pym.
Yeah, I was like, okay. I guess that makes. Well, once it showed how he killed him, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. You're like, obviously it was Ant-Man the whole time.
Yeah, I don't know who their
Especially when-
suspects.
especially when they got to the Hulk just kind of exploding. I was really
Yo,
confused about
so-
what the hell was going on.
I think when
the
I
Hulk
saw.
can't die. So that really took me by surprise.
Well,
I
Yeah.
was
kinda
like,
way.
oh, what are they going to do with the Hulk?
Yeah,
Because he
he
can't
just
die. And then he
Expanded
did.
his heart till
Matt,
all of them
do you
exploded.
have feelings about that?
Yeah, what are your feelings?
Well,
Matt?
you know what? It's funny because, one major point I had is I kind of like the concept of what if, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that this is definitely the nerds who get together and are really obsessed with one character, and they keep arguing like, they don't use him correctly. He's underbuffed. And so this what if concept is like, oh wait, what if Hank Pym actually could do what we can imagine him doing, and you can see how badass in theory his character could be. So that is interesting when you can take out the whole Avengers, and this goes back to the whole Ant-Man Thanos butthole theory.
Yep.
I was
You
going to
know.
say, now how cool would that have been if he went up Hulk's butt and exploded?
Yeah.
Well, he didn't really
Right.
he didn't
Theory
like go
confirmed.
big.
Yeah, he let the heart do basically the same thing by his heart
Yeah.
just expanding like crazy by throwing that frisbee
So,
at it.
speaking of killing off an entire super team, the first thing that comes to mind is the Tower of Babel. Do you guys have any comparisons or thoughts between the two?
Oh, from Justice League. I was wondering what that was a reference to. Yeah, I don't know. I
Oh,
didn't
so
really-
you have read my outline and you just skipped through all of it anyway.
It went
That's
load.
I couldn't figure out how to open it. I clicked
Yeah, I
your
couldn't
link
open
and
it.
it
I
said,
clicked it.
and it said you have to
Oh, well,
request
thanks for the
access to this.
feedback, guys. Oh, that's
Yeah,
weird.
it said you have to request access, and it said pick in my
This is
email.
top
and
secret stuff.
So it said
Oh.
it's requesting access from you, apparently.
Well, just for the record, Robbie's the only one who requested access. You busted.
Oh, okay. Well, I think I didn't have much time, or I didn't even look at my phone.
You didn't give a- You didn't give a fuck. You don't have to lie. We're all grown ass men. I'm not going to go over here and cry because you didn't use my outline. I'm just not going to make another outline.
I read your
Yeah,
text
we'll
as well,
stop
but
making top secret documents and just
Yeah,
make
I'll
a random
outline it.
document.
I literally read it 28, so I did not have time to
Look,
look
I
at it.
selected the feature that said allow access to
Secret.
people who use this link.
Okay. All right, so
Oh, no.
we all good on episode
Sorry.
3?
Yeah.
Any other thoughts?
Episode 4 was definitely pretty interesting.
But let's hear what Matt says about episode 3.
Well, you know, 2 other points. I ultimately disliked episode 3 because of the ending for 2 different reasons. Well, 3 actually. One,
'Cause it was
Loki actually winning is stupid. We all know he can't win.
Mhm.
2, Captain Marvel shows up, and you all know my feelings about her because she is way too overpowered, and that's why you have to keep her off to the side.
Yeah.
But the third major point is this is the point I'm at with Marvel Cinematic Universe is now I'm starting to get confused on timelines, and I know it's a what if scenario, but wasn't Captain America found before
Yeah,
the
seriously.
Avengers were formed? Like why in this universe is it like, oh, they're all dead now? Oh, but we still have Captain America.
Yeah, he should
So-
have
Yeah,
I don't
still
think
frozen.
The Avengers
I was a
were
little.
formed.
Mhm.
Like he had the candidates selected, but I don't think the Avengers were formed yet.
Yeah, I
This
mean,
is-
apparently.
So the
Iron
question
Man-
is, did Captain America come out
Still
after
frozen.
Iron Man 2?
So basically, my issue is we're getting so deep and so far that when you're like, okay, now I have to go back to this movie and remember like this timeline, and it's just
Yeah.
there's so much Marvel out there now. It's like, wait, is it this way or is it this
Yeah.
way? And I have to like actually go and Google shit now.
Take back.
Yeah, 'cause
and-
the donut scene took place in 2010, but the Hulk scene took place 2008. I thought.
Yeah. Well,
And then,
so
like,
Captain
Thor-
America's 2011, so that would mean Captain America's after Iron Man 2 and the donut scene.
Yeah, but I think the Hulk scene took place in 08, so that was like 2 years. You know, that happened like 2 years before it was supposed to, or 2 years after it was supposed to. But yeah, I don't know. But I think Thor was like a year after Iron Man 2, though. And
No, that was like happening in the same week.
This is
Okay.
my point
I
though.
forgot that,
Exactly.
yeah.
You're like, all right, Google. You know, it's gotten to that point. It's gotten to that point now where it's like, shit. You know, I know my stuff, but now I'm starting to second guess because
Like,
I don't
wait
know
a
if the
second.
writers are doing something wrong or if I'm just misremembering.
Yeah, like are
you
they
know.
trying to squeeze 3 episodes into one? Like,
Yeah.
we have 3 small
Yeah.
episodes, but you're like, oh, wait a second, no, chronologically, those 3 movies happen within like a week of each other.
Mhm.
And I do
So-
love how these are animated, but they keep it very close to those same scenes you've seen in the movies.
Mhm.
Yep.
Sometimes, yeah,
Yeah, on just major pieces that you definitely remember, like that donut. Like I haven't
Now,
seen
speaking-
that forever, but I remember that donut scene.
You still, yeah, it's
Because
iconic.
you only watched Iron Man 2 once. You saw it in theaters, like, I'm good. Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I haven't
Yeah.
watched it in so
Same for
long.
Iron Man 3.
I've seen
Is Iron Man
multiple
2
times.
with the giant Iron Man he fights, or is it with the
He
whip
fights
guy?
That's
Iron Man,
it's the
everyone.
exact
That's
same.
the whip
it's,
guy.
it's the exact same plot as the first movie, except with whips.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the first one, he like
Yeah, those
he fights the
electric
big
whips.
bulky
Yeah, he's
old
like-
guy with the cigar.
He's like, "Hey, Iron Man, I'm Iron Earth."
I love how he adapts to just all the scenarios because those electric whips is how we learn to absorb energy.
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
Iron
like
Man 2, it's like,
every movie his shield gets better.
"Hi, Iron
Yeah,
Man, I'm Iron
I think
Earth
it's
Man,"
really cool how they
but
showed
with
that.
whips. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah.
Except
Those-
they don't really explain it straight up to you, but you notice that over time.
Yeah, it's for the nerds. Not everything needs to
Yeah.
show, not tell. Because like people who don't care, non-nerds don't care. They're just like, oh great, it's another effing toy I have to go buy for my kid.
Pretty much.
Like, like you see a new Iron Man suit, and you're like, son of a bitch, that's gonna cost me $20 extra at Christmas.
Yeah.
Or
Oh, well.
Halloween.
Yeah, and so now what if? I mean, you could probably squeeze out like 10 different characters or like
Oh
action
yeah, do you
figures.
have any more like Doctor
Iterations?
Stranges and oh
Yeah.
man, how many different variants are there going to be in Halloween? And
Well, let's get into Doctor Strange. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I thought this was probably the best episode. if I had to choose. Definitely the darkest. So I applaud them for like,
Yeah, it definitely was a dark one.
because I was worried like, oh no, is the Watcher gonna?
That's coming from the episode where they just killed all the Avengers too.
Oh,
Is it-
dude, I did think that was really cool how it just became so powerful you could talk to the Watcher.
I know I was so worried that the Watcher's gonna do like Deus Ex Machina and be like, it was all a dream, or like it's all fixed. I was like, I was
And he
glad. I was
just
glad he
Leaps
was
it
just like,
back. He
I was
was
glad
like,
So-
he
nope.
was just like.
Yeah, he was just like, nope, you fucked up.
It was like,
Bye.
dude, I literally warned you over and over. Literally everyone else did, and you're like, now you want to go back.
Oh yeah, he would. He was told so many
Like,
times.
yeah,
And the only
literally.
good version was the one who was just like put the thing down and you're like, all right, yeah.
Yeah.
I have to say,
So-
not jumping ahead or anything, but the Watcher said I cannot interfere one too many times for me, and my Spidey senses started tingling. And I think the Watcher is going to end up interfering in like the last episode, and I think that might create the multiverse. But so many other things are already creating the multiverse that wouldn't make the most sense.
There's
But
an
like he just said
interesting-
it. He said it too many times. He said, I cannot interfere. I've said before, I cannot interfere. And it's like at this point, like, bitch, I know you're about to interfere in the last episode.
Yeah. Well, the multiverse already exists because it was established in Doctor Strange. That's where they draw their power from, the multiverse.
Right.
You know, they literally said it already exists. So, like, you know, Loki, either King was lying, but the multiverse already exists. You know, it's existed for a while now.
You can have a
which means,
multiverse
you know-
within a sacred
Oh, man.
timeline. Fucking sacred
The small
timeline.
little thing dealing with multiverse. Did any of you guys watch that that little thing on Adult Swim with they had Christopher
Rick and Morty?
Lloyd playing Rick?
Oh yes,
Yeah, that was really
that was
cool.
almost as good as that segue. That little tangent segue, Robbie. Tops off to you. That was good. Yeah, that was really fun. Are you excited for Rick and Morty season
Oh,
finale?
well, we're not. Are we still talking about what if? Let's,
No,
Oh
it's just a
yeah,
tangent.
I
It's
just
just a
wanted
tangent.
to like just throw it.
Yeah,
out
he was
there.
just calling it out.
All
right,
Yeah,
let's
it
go
was
back
kind of
to it.
relevant.
Damn it, Robbie.
Yeah,
Wait your place.
Apparently, outside in dimension C-132 is like the live action Rick and Morty. And then
Well-
having Christopher Lloyd, who was Back to the Future, so it's like a parody of the parody
what it was
the
based
show.
on. It's so meta. That's
With-
so
with-
Rick and Morty.
with the original, with the original character actor. It was, yeah, I just thought it was. I was really geeking out when I watched that.
If you dressed up in
that
a pickle,
14
if you
second
dressed up in
clip,
a pickle
yeah.
costume, I would die.
So back to Doctor Strange.
Yeah, back
Um,
to that.
So it was very similar to the Time Machine, that movie with the Guy Pearce, which I guess is based on the H.G. Wells. But the Guy Pearce movie, he goes back in time to save his girlfriend, and she
Sad
keeps
dude.
dying regardless of what he does. So
That
I
always
thought
gets
that was
to
a
me.
great nod. Yeah.
Yeah, I love like just any form of entertainment, books, movies, comic books. Like, I think it's such a motivating factor to try to go against like your stereotype, like, you know, being a superhero, you're supposed to stick to the rules or whatever, but breaking the rules because you're trying to like save your loved one. I think it's like such a good motivation and and entertainment to get away with like more dramatic
And then
things.
look
with
Yeah.
what
the character.
happens.
my only
And then look what happens.
And then Demon Him looks at her. Look, I saved you.
love
Ah!
I'm beautiful on the
I'd be like,
inside.
who are you? Yeah. Like, why did you
God,
just
so many
change back to Doctor
eyeballs and-
Strange? Yeah, why would he be that weird form when like?
I
she
wonder
first
if he
comes
even
to?
noticed. It was as though he didn't even know.
This is
What do
true.
you
Well, I mean, he
like-
could. Yeah, that's true. He's probably like, oh, sorry.
It was his morning
forgot to
face.
shave.
I saved you.
It
Yeah.
was his morning. I'm beautiful on the inside. What was Matt gonna say?
I was just gonna say an issue I had is it's one of those like writing issues. We've seen him when they're about ready to attack Thanos, sit down, meditate, and go through all the possibilities of everything he's done, and yet he doesn't do that here, and that just kind of bugged the crap out of
He
me.
did that in the library. That's how he froze time and read all those books, right?
Yeah, it's but like, you know, you see him and he's like, oh, I've imagined 12 million different variations of this attack, and there's only like one way we can win.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When he's like, oh, I'm going to see all the different realities. And,
Well, I think they were doing a show not tell, and like, how many times can you like watch like your loved one die before?
no, I know. I'm just.
you give up. No, I think it's.
I
a
hate
good
when they
point.
establish a
just
power and then
runs out
they
of
don't use that
ideas.
power. they establish a power and then they don't use it is what bugs me.
Man,
let me
even
ask you this.
just like,
Did
let's
they-
go out for pizza, and somebody comes in with a
Still
gun.
dead.
Poison pizza.
Yeah, stands her
That
up,
was-
still dead.
That
I
was
thought
so
she was going
weird
to choke to death.
Well,
I
that
thought she
gun
was-
scene. That gun scene was so strange because it didn't show like it firing. It just like, look at the gun at this angle. Look at the gun at this angle. Look at the gun at this angle. And it was just like, just show it firing. We've seen guns go off in the MCU. It was like, we couldn't show a gun going off fire.
It's
So,
Disney.
Matt, on a philosophical level, has a power been established in an alternate universe before that time?
Yeah, that's the kind of lazy writing you can get into when you want to justify it after the fact. You didn't really think
I
it
thought
through.
lazy writing was using the same background for the Hulk scene in episode 3, because that was like a Universal property. That was even Disney. I was like, Disney writers like being lazy, stealing IP, stealing backgrounds and set designs, and it's not even their property. It's like notoriously Universal's. But anyway.
Well, our buddy Shuma Gorath came back this week, the Tentacles. So I'm wondering if he's going to come back in later episodes as well. And this is all going to tie into Doctor Strange too, because I think he's rumored to show up in that.
Nice.
Just check the outline. I had a great nickname, Dr. Groundhog's Day.
Oh
Said
yeah.
Doctor Strange.
Well, it's more like Dr. Time Machine because it's like, it's not like he's reliving the same day over and over. Like he's trapped. That was more like the end of Doctor Strange 1. He's just sort of like going back and trying to, fix something that can't be fixed. But I don't know.
So
It is
I
Groundhog
think
Day, I guess.
I think overall though,
isn't there a homeless guy in Groundhog's Day that
I don't know.
he can't kill or he can't save?
yeah, because every
no
time he
matter
tries to
how
save
hard
him,
he
he dies out,
Yeah.
and gets too cold or like dies of a heart attack. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen that movie. Like,
Well,
I don't
maybe
know
it should be called that, Forrest.
What was that?
I'm
I'm sorry.
putting on my Peter Griffin hi hat or
What'd you
top
say?
hat.
I didn't hear what you said.
Oh.
I just heard Forrest in a condescending tone. I was like,
Yeah, no, that was it. That was the whole tone. And then me putting on my Peter Griffin top hat, and then I'm gonna trance around like in that cutaway scene when he kicks his knees up. You know what I'm talking about? I'll send you the link later.
But what did you say?
Follow
What
us on
did you-
Twitter to see that GIF.
But what did you say though? Or did you say? Sorry.
Oh, I have no idea.
Okay.
I guess I'll have to listen. I guess
yeah.
I'll have to listen to find out.
I
I'll have to
thought,
re-listen to the podcast.
I don't think I've seen Groundhog Day all the way through. I think I've just seen it on TV over the years. Like in
It's like the
pieces.
best Bill Murray movie.
Which
But,
isn't
you know,
saying much.
You're overestimating my love of Bill Murray, which I like. The only movie I thought he was funny in.
I don't
was
like.
Kingpin.
I'm not like the hugest Bill Murray fan. Lost in Translation kind of really turned me off
Ugh.
in general.
I get his appeal. He's cool, but it's like I just don't think he's.
What about
funny.
Bob? That's a good one.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
Garfield. But I thought he was hilarious in Kingpin, though. That was, even though he wasn't the star in that, so maybe he's like. I think he's just better in small doses. But anyway.
so
Go ahead.
yeah, I think overall, I will say the What If episodes are getting better, but they're still not awesome. So I'm hoping the series keeps building, and hoping the next few episodes, are better. But I'll keep watching for now.
I think it's like the only episode where like every single actor from wow. Oh. Way to crash the podcast, Tip, with that static. Okay, I gotta mute him.
What is that?
Yeah, I think Tip's.
Tips lighting off fireworks, like
Okay, that's better. All right, what was I gonna say? Yeah.
I muted him. It's better now.
Okay, thank you. Every actor that played in the movie. Oh, hey, Tip. Every actor came back. I think even Christine Everhart from the first
Yep.
Iron Man film. So,
You don't say no to the mouse. The mouse says no to you.
well, Liv Tyler and Scarlett Johansson did, and Brie Larson last episode. Remember?
Brie Larson.
Yeah. You don't want to buy Nissan now? That's basically all she's done since Captain Marvel. Just been in Nissan commercials. I'm just like, hey, they're probably paying a lot. And now, what's his name? Lee Schreiber is doing Mattress Firm. It's like, what a strange combination.
Yeah.
I mean, I know like
What
LA living isn't cheap, but I'm just like very,
Yeah, get
very
those
weird.
gigs.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I know why they
Have you-
take, you know.
Have you read the conspiracies online about Mattress Firm and like all the mattress stores and stuff?
How they're all the same and it's like a racket.
They're always empty. There's one on like every street corner. It's a really good rabbit hole to fall down, and you lose yourself for an hour or two. It gets pretty funny. It's not like ridiculous as Flat Earth, but it's pretty entertaining.
Freakonomics and NPR Planet Money have done episodes about them, and they're like really conspiratorial at times.
Yeah. I learned recently that the Illuminati only lasted like maybe a few months, and then like never came back. And
no, the Illuminati's you can go to like the Illuminati.org website and like donate money and become a member of the Illuminati.
I think it's just like some random guy online, but
I mean, it's like it's an organization. I think it's like Illuminati LLC. I don't know.
Well, there's probably several.
The Illuminati exists. It's just not the Illuminati you're thinking of.
There's probably several groups calling themselves Illuminati, but there's the official Illuminati has only been around since 1500s for like a few months, and then like I think like the government shut them down and they never came back.
What do you think we'll ever see the Illuminati in the Marvel universe?
Ooh,
I thought we have.
Nice connective tissue there.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Well, I mean, it's Doctor Strange, Professor X, who I think is rumored to show up in Multiverse of Madness. I don't think it'll be Patrick Stewart, but I think it'll be like the MCU's version of Professor X.
I thought it was going to be David from Prometheus. What's his name?
Magneto, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, no, not Fassbender then. The other young one. Who played the young Professor X? McAvoy. McAvoy. That's it. Yeah, I heard it's going to be him.
That'd be nice. I actually like him.
I do too. Not as much as Fassbender. I'm
agreed.
A huge fan of Fassbender. He's great.
Carried Prometheus.
What? No, I'm just kidding. No, he didn't. Completely.
So as a side note, and maybe do a few minutes about this, did anybody watch the Wheel of Times trailer this week?
Yeah.
Yes. What do you think?
Because I know everybody has grown up, and like that is everybody's introduction into like high fantasy. So I'm excited and just want to get your opinions on it.
If you forget that Tolkien poser.
I am very excited, and Amazon Prime has put out some really high quality TV. So I'm not saying like my hopes are too high, but like my hopes are tempered. But it looks good.
My only reservation with the trailer was that it seems to be focusing more on Moraine than Rand.
Yep.
And it seems to be like more like, just like a we're the women that protect the world. And it's like, well, it's supposed to be about the Dragon Reborn and the people from Emond's Field, but I know like Rosemary Pike's like I guess a big star. So
what a great time to like introduce this series on TV. And it's like women empowerment, men are crazy.
It's so weird that they chose to do Game of Thrones or Song of Ice and Fire before Wheel of Time.
I agree.
Wheel of Time was finished before, and Song of Ice and Fire still isn't finished.
Yeah, and like it's been a meme for like 2 decades that it'll never be finished. Like if you're gonna pick up a TV series, at least like have
make
faith.
sure it's completed.
No.
Well, if it's not gonna be completed, at least have faith that it'll be completed by the time the last season's done. However, like if there's a running joke in the whole community that these books will never be finished, maybe don't pick them up.
I'm watching.
We all know
right now.
George R.R. Martin is going to die, and Brandon Sanderson is going to finish the series.
Basically, yeah.
Lols.
So I watching it, like I'm excited. I'm a little bit worried about the pacing and seeing how far they go in season 1. Are they going to do all the way through book 1, or are they going to do kind of what they did with The Expanse, where it was like part of it's book 1, part of it's the beginning of book 2. So I'm a little worried about how they pace it. And the only other 2 nitpicky things I can get is the blurry Trollocs, which I said, but also
I thought it was my eyes tearing up. I was so happy to see this trailer. I thought like when the Trollocs showed up and they were all blurry, I was like, wait, am I crying right now? And then I was like, no, that is incomplete CGI.
CGI, yep.
Well, the issue with the Trollocs is they all don't look the same in the books. Like some have beak noses, some have horns, some have one horn, some have they all look different. And just in that blurry vision, it's all like it looks very generic, and they all look like minotaurs or something. And so it was like, I guess I can overlook that.
The merger looks very good though.
I have optimism and hope that they're just trying not to show everything off. Like, they're going to show Rand, don't show Rand, right? Show some Trollocs, don't show every Trolloc design. Like, leave some to the
Well,
the TV show.
I think they're sort of overexposing.
That's what I'm hoping.
They're overexposing the Aes Sedai. I think this first season because I don't think like the entire order was shown into like book 2 or 3,
Mhm.
and they're like on full display in this trailer. I'm just like they probably should like have Moraine as the single Aes Sedai, then eventually show that the order is much bigger. I thought that would be a cool way to do it. But they're
But
like,
you're trying to get people to watch it too, so you want to get to the fun stuff. It's like in Game of Thrones, you're like, where are all the effing dragons? Just get to the dragons.
Well, and the only other nitpicky thing I have though is the actor who's playing Lan looks very undersized from what I imagined him while reading the books.
yeah, I thought he had a beard too,
Yeah,
but he still looks Asian-ish. But I don't know.
It's just he looks smaller. Like in the books, I imagine a shipwreck house. Like a guy who you just look at, you're instantly intimidated because that's how they write his character. But I mean,
No, that's my D&D character you're thinking of.
But the fact that they had like Myrddraal, they had there like, I'm really excited. So.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it didn't blow me away, but I read the first 3 books, so at least I'll know what's going on and I can judge it on how well it's adapted. But I think that other show they did, Carnival Row, Amazon did, wasn't that good. So they've had their fair share of of failures as well as successes. Invincible, I think, and The Boys are major successes, but I think Carnival Row and I think a few others have sort of been like duds. So it's not really like consistent with success, Amazon. But we'll see. You want to talk about the No Way Home trailer?
Yep.
When we have time. Okay. So what'd y'all think?
Looks amazing as always. Spider-Man just bringing the heat. I gotta say, outside of the actual Avengers team up movies, they're probably. I mean, I say that, but Ragnarok and Doctor Strange are my 2 other favorites.
Well, they're bringing back. You go ahead.
Sorry, you can go.
Oh yeah, I mean the de-aging technology now from Alina is definitely on full force here. But cool to see him back. I guess he was the best Doc Ock he could be in 20 years ago, so they're just bringing him back. So I think a lot of it has to do.
I really
with,
enjoyed him.
Sony's. Well, I enjoyed him. I think Sony's being really stingy with their Spider-Man characters. Like I think they wanted to use Kraven originally for this movie. But Sony's like, no, we want to do our own Kraven movie. So they're like, okay, we'll just bring back all the villains from the old movies.
It's got 62 million views now.
Yeah.
But
yeah, you go ahead.
My 2 quick points are this movie. The trailer was a perfect advertisement for ADD medication because it was just all over the place. And 2 is Doctor Strange becoming the new Iron Man.
Just the reason everything is awful.
100%. Yeah. You need someone to create bad guys for you, since you don't have a giant meteor of kryptonite coming down to your city and turning everyone into bad guys. So you need a catalyst to turn people bad, and what's better than the good guy? And Doctor Strange and Tony Stark. I mean, the only difference was their facial hair.
Yeah,
I mean, even his attitude
seems like an easy switch.
His attitude's the same now too.
Well,
they can spawn whoever.
The theory is that he's not really Doctor Strange; he's Mephisto. Disguised
Don't get my hopes up. No.
You have to remember.
No one is Mephisto.
You have to remember, though, this is based off of One More Day, which was when Peter made a deal with Mephisto to have everyone in the world forget his identity as Peter Parker as Spider-Man.
It's like going back to WandaVision, just wondering who's Mephisto in WandaVision.
Yeah, but this is literally an adaptation. But this is literally an adaptation of a story with Mephisto.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so why not put a little plot twist in there? Why not spice it up? Look what they did with Hush.
I'm just saying, don't get my hopes up. Everybody was Mephisto in WandaVision.
I think we have a better chance that it's the Doctor Strange we just saw in episode 4 than it is Mephisto impersonating Doctor Strange.
I do like what Disney is doing with that. How they have all these shows leading up to these movies.
Right? What's important? What's not?
Yeah,
everything's important. You have to watch it all. You have to watch it all. They win.
What If is just kind of side stuff.
I guess What If actually is canon if it the Watcher shows up in
right?
Because it's like a Like, look how Doctor Strange was able to even talk to the Watcher.
From what I understand, anything with the Marvel Studios logo, you know, the intro you guys skip, right?
Yep.
Is canon.
Okay. Like,
Does it
No,
change a little
It's all
bit
connected.
each
Marvel,
time?
hire me. You see how I connect all this shit back together?
It's all
I'm here for
The
continuity.
the opening title crawl is continuity. So it's like you're gonna see like the words Marvel Studios lining up next to the Avengers for the final battle. In the
I'm
eventual
just going to
Avengers
stick
movie.
little Easter eggs into the Marvel Studios logo every time, so you won't want to skip it.
A sentient opening logo fighting alongside the Avengers. Okay, love it.
I will say Clone Wars and Bad Batch has the best intro. It's like 2 seconds long.
That's true.
Wow.
I do applaud them. Like, there's no point to even skip intro because before you can
Yeah,
press the
right.
button, it's gone.
It
Um,
takes longer to load it if you click the skip intro than it does just to play the 2 second intro.
You said Bad Batch and what else?
The Clone Wars.
Okay, I thought you said Breaking
Oh,
Bad.
or what about
'Cause Breaking Bad's very short too. It's just like
what about Invincible?
Yeah, how it'll be like
Oh,
halfway through.
I mean, do you really think he's in?
Oh, I'd always
and then it
watch
just
it. Yeah,
cuts to the title.
I would say that's the best title scene of all time. Well,
I love that.
I don't know.
I'd never.
'cause I do
skip
love a
it.
good
I
title
mean,
scene. Like
there's no.
I've
reason
never
to
skipped a
skip it.
Community episode because I just love like the intro, even though like I've heard it like 1,000 times. But besides that, like the emotional connection to that, I would say yes. The Invincible intro is the best title.
All right, so we know that Doc Ock is back. Pretty sure Green Goblin's coming back. Willem Dafoe. I think Jimmy Fox's Electro is coming back. But I think who hasn't been confirmed yet is the guy who played the Lizard. I think Sandman.
Sandman's
And
coming back, I
Sand-
thought.
And the other
And-
Spider-Man.
I hope Michael Keaton comes back as Vulture because I think he was one of the original Sinister Six.
Is that
Sinister
7?
Six.
I
Well,
think
it has to be
that
6.
sounds more
It's-
than 6.
But I don't know if like Lizard or Sandman is confirmed. But I think Vulture should at least come back. Since
Here's my big thing: is that Alfred Molina, like Doc Ock, he was like, wasn't he on a redemption arc at the end of the movie? And then like when he falls in like the water, and that's where he's getting picked up. So like, is he a bad guy still,
I think it's going to take place either
or is he
before.
redeemed? Or do you think
I'm
he gets
wondering if
picked
he's
up
gonna-
earlier?
I'm wondering if he's going to get yanked before he becomes good in that movie, or if it's just a whole different universe altogether. But he just looks like he did in
The
Spider-Man 2. So,
multiverse.
yeah, they're going to make it work, or they're probably just going to not explain it. They're just going to just accept it.
I mean, they can just say the multiverse is something we know frighteningly little.
They're just like, we're Marvel. You're going to watch it regardless. We don't have to explain everything
Yeah.
to you.
Magic.
Nerds,
Yeah, like,
we saw
yeah.
Star Wars get away with this for 30 years, saying it was the quote unquote Force. So yeah,
If
we're gonna
it's
do
the
the same.
Force.
The Force
So
really
what is
wasn't that overutilized as much as it was in the sequel trilogy.
Yeah, they
Like
kind of
the original trilogy, like he could move stuff, and he fought Darth Vader, and that was about it. The Force, the rest was just like
Yeah.
fighting.
Well,
in
I guess
space.
that's what happens when you spend 40 minutes on a casino planet with 2 non-Jedis.
Yeah.
He says
My
very angrily.
favorite movie.
And it also
Yeah.
has
Shut up.
after
I
death
was waiting for that,
hologram.
Matt.
Let's just pretend it didn't happen. That sequel trilogy should be relegated to the Star Wars
Let the
Legends
past
universe.
die. Kill it if you have to.
Well, those movies are in the past now, so we can let them die now.
you can kill me.
Um,
The only Star Wars is the THX enhanced VHS copies. That's the
he
only
brought
Star
out
Wars
the
that
THX enhanced.
was that before the CGI?
Yeah, the special
improvements?
editions. Yep.
Yeah.
Those are the last ones released. I think there was like an anniversary VHS release a few years later, and then it became all the special
VHS.
editions.
The only reason I like the special editions, well, I don't. The only thing I like about them is that Jabba appears in A New Hope. So that was kind of cool. So we're sort of like connected him and Han. So like I know he technically showed up chronologically in Return of the Jedi first, but then they added him in the special editions. So that was cool. That they sort of had a relationship before, even though he's like CGI and looks awful. But
Yeah, even though it
that's
kind of
right.
like spoiled it.
And it also
Kinda
has Boba
spoiled the
Fett.
big reveal.
It also has Boba Fett in that movie too.
Look,
So
the only thing I care about is your opinion. Who shot first?
Han shot first. Greedo didn't shoot at all.
well, yeah, because
What a
like
scoundrel.
Lucas was
Oh
just
man,
like.
the way they kind of shifted his head over to the side.
In which version? And wait,
Yeah, did you see whichever version it is, when you just see Han's head just kind of shift over to the side really quickly.
Yeah,
It just
What
kinda
does he
looks
say
weird.
now? Does he say Hadouken? What does he say now? McClunkin. That's it.
Yeah.
Or McClunkin?
Well, Lucas's whole justification was just like, if Han shoots first, he's a murderer. But if Greedo shoots first, it's self-defense, right? But that sort of like took away like the badass persona of Han. So that's why people are so upset. Is that a correct assessment, Matt?
Yeah, I think.
So basically, he was trying to make Han more family friendly,
Yeah.
and it was self-defense, not he's just this horrible human being who'll do whatever to
Scoundrel.
stay alive. Yeah.
Well, I think like Greedo had his gun on him anyway, so like he was just like I got to shoot him before he shoots me. So it kind of was like preemptive self-defense.
Yeah, but the fact that he like hides it underneath the table shows you like he's quick
read the
thinking, he's
situation.
smart. Yeah, he
He
knows where it's
prepared.
going.
It's a great introduction for sure.
But in
Yeah,
the original version,
definitely.
Greedo does get a shot off too, right?
Nope,
Oh,
nope. He's just holding his gun.
Han just straight up shoots him.
Yeah, straight up shoots him.
Yeah,
Just like in
nothing
Raiders:
else.
The Lost Ark, Han, like Harrison Ford just plays character who's just murderer.
Yeah, and then they have him shift his head to the side.
Yeah, that's
Although
the
he
last
dodged
special
a
edition.
bullet.
Well, you remember in
That-
Raiders, like remember that guy?
Yeah,
in
I think that's what I have on Blu-ray.
remember in
him
Raiders,
shifting his
the
head
guy's
over.
like doing all this sword
Sword
play,
trick. Yep.
and then like he just pulls out his gun and shoots him.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because that was because I
That's
think there
because
was-
he was too
that
hungover
was
that
so
day.
funny.
no, he had dysentery. I think.
Yeah, dysentery.
I'm
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
gonna deal with this.
He was like in a really
Oh.
shitty mood, so it was like
Yeah.
he was gonna kill himself.
Internet lied to me.
He had to shit himself, so he wanted the scene to get over. So
Anyway,
Indiana
Great way
Jones
to-
has something
yeah.
like that too.
like a special edition? I don't think so. I think
No,
South
I
Park-
mean like a guy coming up just doing a bunch of sword tricks, and he
That's
just
what we're
Yes,
talking
but
about,
that's what we just said.
Oh wait, I thought you said something Han did that too.
yeah. Where there
and
been
then-
like actual swords
yeah.
in Star Wars?
lightsabers.
Lightsabers?
Actual
Jinx,
swords.
thank you.
Actual
All right,
Wow.
that's how it should end it.
The Gamorreans
That's how
have
we should-
the Gamorreans have pikes on Jabba's floating palace. Just saying.
swords.
Yeah,
though.
and the Klingons have
Okay,
stabby
okay.
stabbies too.
Shut up. Shut up.
Right. Like battle axe.
If you said Yuuzhan Vong, I've been like, no, those are sentient snakes that become
Yeah.
they're not even
Staffs,
blades, they're
yeah.
just like staffs or whips or spears. So
Whatever they want them to be.
yeah,
He did a reverse Moses.
like don't make me angry, Jedi. I'll make my snake hard and fight you.
Hey, did you guys hear? You remember that snake in Harry Potter? Voldemort's
basilisk?
snake?
Yeah, Nagini.
Nessa or whatever, Nagini.
Yeah.
Did you hear in like the second Beast, like Fantastic Beast movie, they gave her like a backstory, like she's a human and apparently she got turned into a snake.
Well, she's like got
What?
trapped. She's like an animagus or whatever, and she got trapped in her snake form.
Oh yeah, something like that.
I was like, that's kind of weird.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
because Peter
That's a
Pettigrew
better, that's a
was-
better retcon than Dumbledore. Not that I have a problem with Dumbledore. It was just how everything happened.
Because Peter
but
Pettigrew was in rat form.
What
for
is she
like,
doing?
13 years.
It's like you guard this diary now.
Yeah, but it didn't
I
make
would
any
just
sense
eat it.
because literally Peter Pettigrew was in rat form for 13 years, never changed back into human until Prisoner of Azkaban, right?
Right.
So it's like that whole plot point made no sense. So
Yeah, as a wizard, I would like just go around trying to turn random animals into humans just to see if they're trapped. That's like something I would like volunteer my hours for, like 50 hours community service to go around tapping rats to
There's
see if they're
probably a
trapped in like some kind of
there's
form.
probably a Ministry of Magic, department for that, which is kind of weird. Like when you're a wizard in the Wizarding World, you only have 3 options when you graduate Hogwarts. You can teach at Hogwarts, you can work at Diagon Alley, or you can work at the Ministry of Magic. Those are like your only options, or you can be on
You can work for Voldemort.
a professional Quidditch team. That's more like a
You
hobby
can do
though.
Quidditch.
Because I
That's
don't think
true.
he pays
Yeah.
you. I don't think he pays you. So you have those 4 options.
I guess they don't
Well,
really
I mean,
talk
the
much
snitch is
about
golden. You can
residential
probably sell
kind of
that.
stuff. There's got to be some.
That's not a job. That's not a career though. You need like stable income. You got to either work for Hogwarts, Diagon Alley, like own something on Diagon Alley, or Ministry of Magic, or work in that hospital. Okay, maybe there was more than like 4
Yeah,
or 5.
that's a
but
good
still.
point. I can't think of anyone he didn't work in one of those 3 areas.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, Mr. Weasley. worked for
Like
Ministry of
Ron's,
Magic.
yeah, Ron's dad was Ministry of Magic.
What did Lucius Malfoy's dad do? Was he just rich? And how do you get
He was
rich
probably-
in the Wizarding World? Do you just sell a lot of Dragon
The
Gold, or just, like,
stonks, bro, stonks. Just like
what do they invest in?
uh
Room
Quidditch.
polish?
Yeah, I was trying to think of like the brand of the
Oh,
broom that
The
makes it fireable.
Malfoys.
Quidditch gambling, and maybe
Yeah.
or some other
Quidditch.
sport they didn't.
Quidditch point
Tell you
spreading. That's how
about.
the Malfoys made their money.
I mean,
the
Harry didn't
Malfoys-
know anything. He only knew what was.
Yeah, and on the backs of
explained to
slaves. Let's not forget that.
Oh yeah, I mean not dwarves, but house elves.
Dolby. Yeah.
Dol-
Who was
you know, it's-
charming in the books and pretty annoying in. Well, he was pretty annoying in the books too. But
Dobby is
that Dolby
free.
death scene, that gets you every time. Anyway.
Oh man.
Oh, you
What
guys
if-
have successfully put me to sleep. Thank you. I needed
Yeah.
that.
What
really-
if we wrap it up?
I'm really mad
And-
that the movies never touched upon the liberation front for house elves that Hermione started.
Yeah,
I thought
is
that
that
was
what you're upset about? That they didn't
That-
have enough
That and Peeves.
elf rights and
Oh
Hermione
yeah,
scenes?
man, they never put Peeves in there.
Yeah, that also peeved me.
Har, har, har.
Okay.
Saw that coming a mile away. I loved it. I
Yeah.
joked, but I loved it.
Okay, so No Way Home. Any other last thoughts? I guess Daredevil might be in it.
Yeah, my only thought is, just like usual, I guess I'll watch it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
Hopefully-
definitely watching.
Hopefully,
We'll
Tony's-
definitely make you watch it.
Yep.
The
hopefully,
question is,
I'm
do we have to
excited
watch
to watch
Shang-Chi?
it.
We
Looks
all
like
I
know
want to watch
that-
Shang-Chi.
even though the Green Goblin, Doc Ock, and Electro are all from different universes, they're all gonna hate Tony Stark.
Oh, and so Labor Day Monday, and then tonight they got that 1 hour season finale of Rick and Morty.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll talk about that next week. But yes.
Tune in for a special episode
I know Robbie's
where
got a,
Forrest loses his damn mind.
I know Robbie's got to sneak in Rick and Morty to every episode, but
Yep.
All right.
We are now.
we'll see how it goes. I'll check it
Start
out.
the count, listeners. We are going to mention Rick and Morty every episode, whether it is airing or not.
Yeah.
We're going to sneak at least one reference.
That's basically what happens, but I know y'all
I'll
like
make
it.
sure of it.
That's all I got.
I'm like Adam Airy sneaking in a reference about your mom.
Yeah.
Gets me every time.
well,
He's like, if you look there in the background, that's your mom. I'm like, you got me, Adam.
Yeah, because
Or
I guess-
Ryan.
I guess
Ryan,
next
Ryan
week-
Airy.
I guess next week we got to talk about Shang-Chi as well.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll watch it by then.
Oh, and season finale of Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
Oh,
Richard,
I
Richard and Mordecai.
rewatched the Matrix trilogy this last week, and I got to tell you, 2 and 3 hold up a lot better than I remember. I don't know
Sure they
felt
do.
this-
if it's.
I felt the same
No, like,
too,
yeah.
actually.
I thought they were a lot better, than I remember. Because I remember walking in, again, expectations low, because I remember them being just disappointing, crappy films. But I actually thought they were kind of pretty good. And granted, since the last time I've seen the second and third Matrix movie, my vocabulary's increased quite a bit. I've gone to college and stuff, so I could actually understand the words that the architect was saying. Because I was
Well,
sitting on my couch, drinking
do
a
you
beer,
understand
being
the
like,
words that
what
come
were
out
people?
of my
I was like, what were people confused about? I was like,
Well,
I know
it's
why
the-
I was
it's-
confused.
The belief
I
of
was
self-determinism, and when you're 13. But the issue is really quick with those sequels. You liked them when you saw them in theaters, but then you got home, and then all your friends were like, I really didn't grasp it, and then all your friends convinced you hated it. That's what happened with the sequels. The
That's
nerds
Interesting.
got online, and you're like, I didn't quite get it,
just-
and you did your research, and you were told that it was bad.
I just missed Neo firing guns and wearing a muumuu was a little off-putting to me, but they had some interesting ideas. I like Agent Smith taking over that guy's body. That was an interesting idea, and him walking into the human world. But I just thought him being a virus was an interesting idea. But
What what about the big playground scene when the 80s were fighting? 'Cause,
That's what kills it. That's what kills
Yeah.
it because it was so poorly done compared to the CGI in
the
the first
dog,
movie.
the dog pile. What
Mhm.
was it? What's that?
Yeah, well, I mean, it was 2003, wasn't it? The CGI wasn't that good. So I was walking in expecting it to be a dumb fight and the CGI being terrible. So I was already had those expectations set, and I remember the CGI being bad.
Yeah,
But
make
overall, pretty
The
good
story
for
itself.
one on 80.
Well, Revolutions had the best Superman fight we ever got until I guess.
Yes,
Man of
I
Steel,
agree.
so,
That's
and
actually really
DBZ.
Line
fun.
of the
I
time.
almost tweeted out. I was like, "Oh, I forgot that the best Superman fight was in the third Matrix movie."
and the
Well-
best DBZ movie until Captain Marvel.
well, Revolutions, the third one. I'm a big Warhammer player, and back then I played Space Marines. It's
Yeah,
this is what a Terminator would look like. That fight scene where they're holding the bridge, like I think it's awesome. So
Yeah. Well, we'll see how the Matrix Resurrections go, and we'll see if it resurrects this franchise.
God, you're tonight.
Such a ham. All right.
Yeah, dude, you're
that's all
killing
I
Matt.
got. Look at you.
And unfortunately, we can't wait till
Yeah.
December for him to be resurrected.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm Forrest.
I'm Major.
I'm Robbie.
Apparently, I'm Matt.
Take care, everybody.
Bye.